everyone, this is Chetan Singhal. Welcome to my channel Stats Shine, where knowledge shines to make you shine. In this video, we'll be learning about Bayes' theorem, right? So before learning Bayes' theorem, we'll cover these topics. So the very first topics comes is the partition of a sample space, right? So in my earlier videos, I have talked about sample space, random experiment, events, and all those stuff. So watch out the links below. And do watch those videos before viewing this Bayes theorem, because it will be helpful to know those concepts first, right? So what is a partition of a sample space? So partition, so we are dividing what? We are dividing the sample space, right? So suppose we have E1, E2 till even En events. So these are the events that form the partition. And what are the type of these events? These are mutually exclusive and exhaustive. Again, I have covered these events in my earlier videos. Do check out those. So I'll explain again. So mutually exclusive. What does that mean? That EI intersection EJ equals phi. So there is nothing common. If you see, this is E1, this is E2, E3, E4, E5, so on, En, right? So if you see, there is nothing common between these events. So these are mutually exclusive. And what does this mean? Exhaustive. So this covers the whole of the sample space. So this is our whole sample space. So what does that mean? E1 union E2 union En equals to sample space. So mutually exclusive and exhaustive. So this is the partition of this sample space. And one more condition is EIs have a non-zero probability. So they have some probability. So this is the partition of a sample space. So consider this example. So consider this example in which we have two bags, bag 1 and bag 2. Bag 1 has 3 red and 4 black balls. Bag 2 has 5 red and 6 black balls, right? So in this case, we'll define what the partition is. And one ball is drawn from a bag. Okay. Firstly, a bag is chosen, and then one ball is drawn from a bag after choosing bag randomly. So what are the partition in this example? So here there are only two events. One is E1, one is E2. So what is E1? E1 says that ball comes from bag 1, and E2 says that ball comes from bag 2. So if you see, this is the partition of the sample space, because we have only two outcomes. Either the ball will belong to bag 1 or the ball will belong to bag 2. So these are mutually exclusive if you see, because this E1 intersection E2 is phi, because it cannot be from both the bags. So this is totally exclusive, right? And second is exhaustive also, because it covers the whole of the sample space. Either it will be from bag 1 or bag 2, that contains our whole of the sample space. There is no other outcome that can happen, right? So at least one of these will occur. So this is the example of a partition of a sample space, right? Then comes total law of probability. So now we'll learn about total law of probability, right? So as we discussed, E1, E2, En is a partition of sample space S, and A be any event associated with the sample space. So here just see the diagram. So these E1, E2, E3, E4 and En are the events which forms the partition of the sample space S. And our event A is defined such that it is any event associated with S. So if you see these blue dotted regions, so this is our event A. Then the total of probability states that probability of A is nothing but summation probability of EI into probability of A given EI, right? So now we'll see that how this formula comes. So if we want to write event A, how we'll write it? So if you see this is A intersection E1, right? This part is A intersection E1. This part is A intersection E2. Similarly, this part is A intersection En, right? And all these intersections, if you see, are mutually exclusive. What does this mean, mutually exclusive? That there is nothing common. Their intersections are nothing common. Their intersections are zero. So if we say that A intersection E1 intersection A intersection E2, that is phi, right? So all these events are mutually exclusive. So how can we write A is A equals to A intersection S, where S is our sample space. So in general it's true for any event. So A intersection S, because we know that this is our event. If this is our event A and this is our sample space, then this event A is nothing but A intersection this whole sample space, that will be A, right? This event. So S is nothing but E1 union E2, because it's a partition, so it's union of all these events, right? Because this is the partition of the sample space S, and all these partition events E1 E2 En are mutually exhaustive and exclusive also. So this is nothing but A intersection E1 union A intersection E2 union A intersection En, right? So I just open this distributive law for this union and intersection, and in general also we can directly say that A is this from this Venn diagram, right? It is A intersection E1 union A intersection E2 union A intersection En. So as we know that this is the formula for union, and these are mutually exclusive events. And in the axioms of the probability, we have learned earlier in my earlier video that for mutually exclusive events, what we can say that probability of A is nothing but simply we add the probabilities of these events, right? Plus probability A intersection E2 plus probability A intersection En, right? We have seen that sum of that these event A can be written as this, and then we just write the probability as this. This is nothing but from the axiom that states that the events mutually exclusive probability can be just directly written into this sum. Now probability of A turns out to be probability of E1 probability of A given E1. Why? Because in conditional probability we learned that probability of A given E1 equals to probability of A intersection E1 into probability of E1. So probability of A intersection E1 is nothing but probability of E1 into probability of A given E1. So this is the consequence of the conditional probability or multiplication rule that we have learned in our earlier videos. Plus probability of A given plus probability of E2 into probability of A given E2 plus so on till probability of En probability of A given En. This is nothing equals to summation I goes from 1 to n, where n is the number of partitions that we have made or that is there in the experiment. So this is Pi probability of A given Ei. So this is the formula. So this is the total law of probability. So why total law? Because we are summing the probability of this event A across these partitions, across the intersections of these partitions, right? So this is the total of probability. So now we'll do an example. Consider this example. There are two bags, right? So consider we want to find the probability of obtaining red ball. So this is our event A. Our event E1 is from ball from bag 1, and our E2 is ball from bag 2, right? So what does, so here we have seen earlier, so there are two partitions. There is from bag 1 E1, bag 2 E2, and this is our event. So red ball can come from bag 1 also and from bag 2 also. So now we want to calculate this probability. So this would be nothing but summation probability I goes from 1 to 2, probability of EI into probability of A given EI. So it is nothing but probability of E1, probability of A given E1 plus probability of E2, probability of A given E2. So what is E1? So it's half, because we are randomly selecting any two of the bags, so we can randomly pick this, any of the bags, so it's half. And A given E1. So suppose we have selected bag 1. So bag 1 has 3 red and 4 black. So what is the probability of obtaining red? Because A1 is our A is a red ball event, so it's 3 by 7. Similarly, plus half from bag 2, it's 5 by 11. So this way, this is the probability. So it's nothing but 3 upon 14 plus 5 upon 22. So we can calculate, and this is how we apply the total law of probability, right? So hope you have understood what is the total law of probability. So on the top of it, there is Bayes theorem. So next we'll learn Bayes theorem. So now coming to Bayes theorem. So what does Bayes theorem says? So till now we have learned total law of probability. So in Bayes theorem, here we calculated probability of A, and in Bayes theorem we want to calculate the probability of EI given A. So this is the formula through which we calculate this probability. So in simple terms, if we say this given, so this is a conditional probability, right? So this will be nothing but EI intersection A upon probability of A. And probability of A we have calculated from this total law of probability. So it's nothing but summation J goes from 1 to N probability. So from here if we see, it's probability of EJ into probability of A given EJ, right? And here if we see probability of EI intersection, so if any EI, like it can be anything, E1, E2, EI intersection, so this would be again from this conditional probability, probability of EI into probability of A given EI, because probability of this A given E1 equals to probability of A intersection E1 into probability of E1. So what would be the probability of this intersection? This into this denominator, probability of E1. Right? So this is the formula for the Bayes theorem. Now in this example we'll understand this. This will clear more from this example. So in this example we have calculated the probability of obtaining red ball, right? So earlier, as you see, we have calculated the probability of obtaining red, and that was nothing but half from bag. It can be from bag 1 or bag 2, right? So this is as I draw a diagram also. So this is from bag 1, this is from bag 2, right? So half into 3 by 7 plus half into 5 by 11. So this is the probability of obtaining red. So now what our problem is, we are given A. So we are given that ball obtained was red. So we are given A. and we want to find probability that ball comes from bag 1. That ball comes, suppose it from bag 2. We want to calculate this. Bag 2. So this is nothing but probability of E2 given A. Given A means we have already selected red ball. So we want to find the probability that it comes from bag 2. So this is E1, this is E2. This is E1 and E2, right? So this would be nothing but if we see from this Bayes theorem, so it's probability of E2 into probability of A given E2 upon it would be in denominator probability of A, which is this, and this we have calculated it here, right? So it's half into 3/7, or we can write this probability of E1, probability of A given E1 plus, sorry, in denominator only, plus probability of E2 into probability of A given E2. So it would be nothing. For E2 it is half into 5/11, and this is half into 3/7 plus half into 5/11. So this comes out to be, I guess, 35/68, right? So this is the Bayes theorem. So in Bayes theorem, it is the reverse of the probabilities usually, right? So we do not want to find the probability of getting red ball from this. We want to find, we are given that we have obtained a red ball. So what is the probability of that we have chosen it from bag 1 or bag 2, right? So there is some terminologies using this Bayes theorem. So this probability is known as posterior probability. Posterior probability, right? This probability, the probabilities of this E1 and E2, these are known as prior probabilities. Probabilities, I guess. And these probabilities, this is something we have observed or we have seen. This is known as likelihood of our sample, right? And these events, E1, E2, En, these are known as hypothesis. So this is some terminologies that relates to the Bayes theorem, right? So hope you have understood the Bayes theorem and the concept and the explanation. So if you liked the content and the explanation, please like the video, subscribe my channel, keep shining. Thank you.